Good morning, Mark. How are we today?
Good. I got thrown out of the Apple store.
What did you do? That's not like you.
I, I got thrown out of the Apple store. So this segment is about customer service and is there if you're ready, willing, and able and helpful, can you generate more sales?
Well, I think we all know the answer to that. It's clearly a yes, but why don't we
Well,
let
not really. Not really. You and I had a bit of banter around it yesterday morning when you were talking about running auction campaigns and getting 4 weeks of buyers through as being in the best interest of the owner. And I turned around and said, mate, what if you've got the buyer offering the overs by 100,000, but they need to buy that week or that day, and you will miss them going to the auction. Sometimes that good old-fashioned snappy service is going to do the deal.
Well, that's right, and I think it depends on the situation. So you sweetened it up a little bit there, I think, by adding maybe they want to pay 100K and they need to buy it this week. That changes things a little bit, but
It's all about money. It's all about money.
well,
So let me tell you about the story, and I know you've had it briefly, but guys and girls, I walk into the Apple store. I'm with my 14-year-old daughter, and if for anyone who doesn't know, I love my tech. I'm a bit of a geek that way. I love Apple. So Apple Watch, Apple phone, Apple laptop, Apple TVs. Love my Apple. I'm a joint venture member, so I pay a premium per year. So when I walk in, if I need something repaired, I don't have to go in a queue. And I'm also part of their business membership. So I actually get discounts across all Apple products. So I love Apple. Did that frame it up?
I think so. I think we're clear. You're an absolute tech junkie. So there's been a big switch. What happened when you went there on the weekend?
Well, I love it. I love it so much that if it's not Apple product, but I can buy it in the Apple store, I will, because they just got this wonderful, return policy. If something goes wrong, they're just very supportive, right? So I walk in on Friday, and it's all very COVID. So get to the front door, and the guy goes, "Hey, can you please answer these COVID questions?" I'm like, "Yep, no COVID, all good." "Okay, can you wear this mask?" "Yep, no problems." Can you? What are you here for? Well, I'm just, come to the Apple store to have a look through. And he said, "What are you actually here for?" And I said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind looking at some cases." And then he asked my little daughter Jade same questions. Move forward 1 meter, another person, same questions.
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, yeah. I'm like, well, this is pretty hardcore. So she's introducing me. She said, "What are you here for?" I'm like, probably look at some cases or something. So she introduces me to this guy. He walks me into the store. "Hello, sir." All very lovely, all great. And he goes, "So what are you here for?" I sort of, just browsing, just killing a bit of time. I said, "Wouldn't mind looking at some cases." And he gives me this funny look. And I sort of get this. And then he goes, "All right." So I'm looking at cases. I said, "Okay, that's cool." Drones. Well, anything new on the drones? "Oh, yes, we've got the new Osmo coming. Da, da, da. Oh, the new Osmo, what does that do? Da, da, da. And I'm starting to move, then I move next to that. And this is all within a minute. It's really quick. So I'm not that painful a shopper.
Yeah.
So the guy turns around and says, "Sir, are you here to buy anything?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's the idea. You go shopping and you look at stuff." And so I swear to what I said to him. And he's like, "Well, what do you want to buy?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, unless I look through the store to see if I like something, and then I like something, I buy it." "Yes, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave." I was like, "Oh." And he goes, "There's two people waiting to come in at the front door, and the people that are there want to buy something." And I was like, "Whoa, okay." So Novak turns into fight or flight mode.
I don't blame you, because at the end of the day, if you get treated like that anywhere, you're going to be frustrated and a bit annoyed, to say the least. So look, they probably just shuffled away one of their very, very solid customers who will be very loyal for a long time. But do you
Well,
think the changing of the guard?
I got to be careful what I'm saying, because I've got to be really respectful about COVID, and I do get Apple's position. So if anyone who's just joined, I got thrown out of the Apple store, and I've learned a couple of lessons out of it. So, okay, I get the COVID thing. We're not here to muck around, kids. We're not here to gather as crowds. We're here to do business. If that's why the store's open, come in, buy shit, get out.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I'm looking at my daughter's looking at me going, what's dad gonna do? Is dad gonna, like, unleash hell, or is dad gonna, like, just walk out? And I'm like, okay, well, fair enough, buddy. All right.
Yeah. If
So
that's going to be, I'll go.
I walked out.
Yeah.
I walked out.
Where
Now,
next, Mark, is the real question.
this is big. I had my fix. I still hadn't had my fix on tech. Yep. So I'm taking some time off with my daughter. She loves the tech as well. She's a bit like dad, proudly. And we still hadn't had our fix. So off we go to a store which is doing a raging trade at the moment. If you look at its stock price, if you look at of how well they're doing over the last 6 months, JB HiFi.
Yeah, they've been crushing it during this COVID epidemic, haven't they?
Crunching it.
Yeah.
Crunching. Amal, good morning. Stephanie Laver, good morning. Jeff, how are you? Luke, how are you guys? Thank you for your support. If you just tuned in, we're talking about me getting thrown out of the Apple store and the lesson that I learned. Over to JB HiFi, walk into JB HiFi, and a bit easy to get in there, I must admit. A little bit easy to get in. And the Samsung Note S20 Ultra 5G.
Oh, you got into it now. Got into it now, Mark.
Presents itself. It says, hello, Mr. Novak.
Pops up.
And I say, hello. And the guy goes, sir, I've got to tell you, the camera. And I'm like, oh, the camera. And he goes, sir, I've got to tell you, this is as powerful as your computer. It's more powerful than an i5 processor. Like, oh my God. Now, I'm fully aware that Apple's relaunching a brand new phone in the next 4 to 8 weeks. But I'm also fully aware that Samsung is doing a great job.
They sure are. You can't really see it. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. There's a big debate, isn't there, between Apple and Android, or Apple and Samsung at the moment, and it's been one ongoing in the office. And Mark was a big supporter of Apple this whole time, for anyone watching. And
I'm Apple's biggest supporter.
It's a big day. It's a big change when Mark comes along and he's no longer using his iMessage with all of his little tricks and tips and shortcuts on the keyboard that I've never seen of. And I'm thinking, oh my God, how is Mark outsmarting everyone I know on technology? It doesn't work. But
right. So I'm relating this back to real estate now.
Yep.
So I've just banged out $2,000 for a Samsung phone that I don't know how to use, going away from the whole ethos and thing of Apple, right? And I swear it was not retaliatory.
You don't think?
Nah.
I think it was just testing the water.
I swear it was not. But actually, I know it was not. I know me, and I know what a big fan of Apple I am.
Yeah.
But my point is, guys and girls who are watching, if you think, and we are represented with this, I was then represented with this crossroads again on Sunday morning, where a member of our office takes an inquiry from a purchaser at 7:15 a.m. on a Sunday morning. 7:15 a.m. we take an inquiry on a Sunday morning. Now, all I know is whoever made that inquiry has gone away going, you know what? You guys rock. I love this. I had a question. You answered the question.
Yeah.
Which then goes over to you, James, and you said something to me like, mate, won't they just come through the open house next week? And can't you just, can you explain to me exactly what you're saying?
My thought process was, if you are responding that quick, that's great, of course, for the vendors. But if you're not allowing any time or lag time, you say through the week, if it's immediate responses, are you building up a pool of, are you just having one person, or are you building up a pool of people that can all bid and that can all add extra value to the other bidders in that property? So are we getting the most for our vendor by singling out that one single person and just going 100% with them? Or are we actually slightly taking away from the vendor's benefits of having all of the marketing and everything else that's going on in the campaign?
Yeah. So relating that back to me getting thrown out of the Apple store, I think that if you leave stuff up for chance and that chance can fall out of your favor, I think you're potentially selling yourself short. So I think by Apple not entertaining the shopper, me being the shopper, not answering the questions, not allowing flow, less friction, not, ease of shopping. Like, these guys have spent, $20 million building this store, right? And they're not allowing people to walk through it because of COVID. I get that.
Yep.
But I think they've got to be, I think as a consumer of any product, on the path to the sale, if a salesperson is reducing as many hurdles or friction points as possible, they are going to get the best price for their owner.
Yeah.
If you are introducing the smallest of friction point, any friction point, many friction points, you are going to reduce the chance of the owner getting the best price for the property. Make that clear. I've got to make that clear, guys. When you're choosing a sales rep, if you're choosing someone who is not reducing the friction points, not reducing the hurdles to the sale, they are going to cost you more money. You are going to sell your property for less.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's going to be a more traumatic experience. Maybe not traumatic, but it's going to be a more difficult experience. It's supposed to be taking all of the pressure away from that person and handling it in one simple, coherent way. And I don't think that's going to do it by throwing spanners in the works, shall we say, Mark, with little things that really aren't necessary. It's we go back to the Apple store, it's basic salesmanship 101. You treat the customer like they're right, first of all. And
well, I didn't get thrown out of the Apple store, out of the JB HiFi store.
No, like could they maybe have gone about it differently? Did they give you a time limit that you were allowed to stay in the shop for?
Well, that's right. That's a nice one as well. You go, look, you're just shopping. Just shoppers, we have a 5-minute timeline for. Please have a look through. But whatever. What I'm saying is, JB is going through as COVID as much as Apple's going through COVID. I believe JV was just as responsible as Apple, in the terms of the way I was handled with the questions I was asked. Do you know what I mean? And people walking through the store and distancing and all that sort of stuff. I feel hygienically it was handled the same way. Everyone, I was registered, they were registered, it was all done. But I just got to say, I woke up on Sunday morning and saw how that sales inquiry was dealt with swiftly, sharply, well, without friction. And I just thought to myself, oh my God, if it's in an industry like property, you could potentially be making 50 grand more for your client because you're not reducing friction points. And I've got to tell you, Samsung took $2,000 of my money, and Apple did not, purely on reducing friction points. It wasn't retaliatory, even if it was, but it wasn't retaliatory. It was just a friction point that was reduced. I probably could have spent $200 in that Apple store and bought something, and I would have had my fix, and I wouldn't have gone into JB HiFi.
Well, there you go. Isn't that interesting? Even if it wasn't retaliatory, you still spend 10 times more than you probably set out to that day, all because of a little hiccup that, bad customer service led you to anyway. All comes down to the customer service.
And that's my lesson for today.
Very good story, Mark. Hopefully the people enjoyed that one. Luke Maroney, love customer service. I think everyone does. Did you make the switch to Samsung, Mark? Is it permanent now, or is it just a in the middle, see what happens, or are we going to see the full 100% commitment from you?
I'm giving it 12 weeks.
You're given a 3-month grace period to find out.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to be ignorant, because I love tech, and I don't want to be like, I just like this because I love this. I genuinely want to give it a go and see what it's like, because there are genuinely a hell of a lot of people supporting Samsung. So I want to see what it's, and I have been on Samsung, I think 4 or 5 years ago, and probably 8 or 9 years ago. I went through 2 bouts of Samsung, and now back over to them now. So let's see how we go, but it's going to be interesting.
I wonder what the divide is between Apple and Android users, the percentage, because it's got to be
Samsung smashes them.
Do you think? Samsung smashes Apple?
Yeah.
Apple, I'm going to do one little thing, see if I can grab something up, Mark, and then we'll leave it, shall we?
Yes, Samsung's fortunate to have a good product price differentiation from entry level to premium level. So they really do cater to more markets in the world. Apple seems to be catering purely to the sort of I won't say wealthy, but certainly the more affluent in societies. These phones are $2.5 grand for an Apple phone. If you want to buy a fully loaded Apple product phone, it's a fortune. But Samsung you can get in for probably $80, $120 for a device that actually works pretty well.
Yeah, well there you go, offering something to every demographic. Which Apple
did you bring up your page? What did you want to bring up?
I was just trying to see if I could bring up it's impossible to monitor. I was trying to bring up something that would suggest the percentage difference between Samsung to Apple, but I'll try and find that and put it in the comments afterwards.
Yeah.
Mark, did you have anything else this morning?
That's a take. Bottom line, guys, the nugget from today is love your customers, take away your friction points. It will make you and more money, and it will sell stuff for higher prices if you can take away friction points.
Do you want an agent responding within 10 minutes or an agent that's responding next Monday when they feel like it?
That's it. Inquire on a sales property with us. You'll have an agent. If you do it by email, you have an agent within 9 minutes, guaranteed. Try us out. That's going to make an owner more money.
And on that note, let's leave the fans with a little test, shall we? See if we get any from Amor, Luke, Steph Labour this morning.
A what?
We'll get some testers from these guys this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, inquire on a sales property with us, guys. Have a go. You'll be shocked. Within 9 minutes. Bop, bop. Love ya. See ya.